Hello and welcome back, guys. We're now starting a new story, Izuku the Shadow Hero, Monarch, written by Michael Zielonka. Awakened Katsumi Bakugo couldn't breathe. She went with her underlings after trying to get her childhood friend to quit being a hero by some unspeakable methods, i.e., saying to jump of a roof. Yeah, her plan on making Izuku Midoriya, or Deku as she called him, stop being a hero. But how could she protect him in the future? Her plan was to marry him after, but how could she say that after all of the things she had done to him? Katsumi's plan was making Izuku help her with her own agency or stay-at-home husband. What is worse is seeing him running to her and trying to save her. Wait. Izuku is coming to save me. SHT. Whilst the young man tried to claw her out and eventually got her in a grip and pulled her out, he then pushed her behind him. What she saw next will give her nightmares, All Might coming in and punching the villain, but when Izuku pushed Katsumi behind him, he was in a line of fire of All Might's punch. The force smashed him in a wall, causing him to bleed from his head and eventually make him unconscious. With only 2 words she heard him mutter, "I accept," then things for him gone black. The next thing the ash blonde done was run to Izuku, trying to wake him up whilst shouting at the stunned All Might. Later, whilst she was praised by the heroes with them trying to bad-mouth Izuku, she shouted to them to do something as her Izuku was bleeding, and they did nothing to help her, but it was her nerd that did something. A quirkless childhood friend, her crush since she could remember. She knew it will become worse for him as he has no living relatives in Japan. Additionally, his dad was an but for her. He was working in USA and visits during summers. All she could do was wait and pray for him to heal well. Izuku during this time, Izuku also didn't have a good day. Katsumi Bakugo, or to him Kaken, up until today, that was when she said to take a swan dive of the roof to get a quirk during the next life, with her throwing his notebook out of the window. Then he was attacked by a sludge villain and saved by All Might. When he asked All Might if a quirkless person could become a hero, he denied it and also accidentally shown him his small form due to Izuku jumping onto the 8th user's legs. He really considered to jump there and then. His mother died due to a villain attack and his father was in America sending him money to live. Honestly, his father was the only one keeping him alive. He loved his father, especially visiting him during summertime. When walking down, he heard an explosion. Feeling his feet taking him to the sound, he sighed and continued. There was a crowd with some heroes standing there except one which was controlling water to stop the fires from spreading. When seeing his childhood friend in pain from her eyes, he moved. He didn't know what to do, but he threw his backpack at the sludge villain and started to claw out his bully. Once seeing her arm, he pulled her behind him to protect her from the inevitable attack from the villain. But what he didn't expect was All Might coming and punching the villain away with himself too. Slamming head first to the wall, thinking of how he wanted to live, he saw a message alarm. You have completed all the necessary requirements of the secret quest, Courage of the Weak. What's this? Secret quest. Completed all the requirements? He asked in his mind, alarm. You have completed all the necessary requirements of the secret quest, Courage of the Weak. You have earned the right to become a player. Will you accept? Player. What's going on? Izuku started to wonder more. You do not have much time remaining. If you refuse, your heart will stop approximately 2 seconds later. Will you accept? Accept refuse. If I accept, I don't have to die. Then with a weak voice, he muttered, I accept. Then the one mentioned went into a coma for the foreseeable future. Time skipped 6 months. The time Izuku woke up was like a bang. Firstly he inspected himself, then asked himself, was this a dream? He still continued to breathe and sweat. I think it was. Yeah, how could he unlock a quirk after 15 years? Then a nurse came and they started small talk like how long and what happened. Apparently he was in a coma for 6 months. Oh great, what about my apartment? When she left, Izuku asked himself once again. Could it be that she can't see it? What he is talking about was a blue screen above him. Message: you have 1 unread mail. Damn, my head hurts. Are those phantom pain from the hit? After a couple of minutes of trying to calm his head down, the greenette thought whilst looking at the blue bow, can I touch it? After his finger fading through it, guess it's not a touch screen. Open mail, welcome player, 1 unread message daily quest, preparing to become strong has arrived. The system will help the player's growth if he fails to obey the system's orders. There may be a penalty. Your rewards have arrived. What is it telling me to do? Rewards. Quest. This feels similar to the notification after the sludge villain. Izuku mused to himself internally. Daily quest, preparing to become strong has arrived, unread, prepare to become strong. Check. Quest directions. Daily quest, getting ready to become powerful. Goal, incomplete, push-ups 0-100, incomplete, curl-ups 0-100, incomplete, sit-ups 0-100, incomplete, squats 0-100, incomplete, run 0-10 kilometers. Warning. Failing to complete this daily quest will bring a punishment associated with this quest. What is this, a joke? I don't have enough strength to do it today. I will start to do it tomorrow. Izuku whispered to himself. Warning. Failing to complete this daily quest will bring a punishment associated with this quest. The time was ticking with Izuku sleeping like a baby. Time skip. Midnight alarm. You have not completed the daily quest. You are now heading towards the penalty zone for a certain PRD of time. Earth Qu quake. Izuku screamed out. He then realized that his hospital bed turned into sand. Looking around, he saw himself on a sandy area, where a sunset is occurring. Realizing that something is moving, the sand dunes to be exact. Sweating at the looks of it, he saw a dark red name above the centipede monster thing. Poison Fang giant sand centipede. Quest directions. Penalty quest, survive. Goal, survive until the time runs out. Time required, 4 hours. Time remaining, 3 hours 59 minutes and 59 seconds. Time remaining, 3 hours 59 minutes and 58 seconds. Time remaining, 3 hours 59 minutes and 57 seconds. Gulping down his fear, he looked at the drawing image of a centipede with sharp teeth with a long red tongue licking its lips. You gotta be kidding me. With him using a secret move he was practicing for 11 years, running away. Some time later, was the sound that Izuku was producing whilst he was running away. Why, you may ask? Simple. There are 12 large centipedes behind him trying to make the gamer into their meal. When he thought he was going to die. Penalty quest, survive. Goal, survive until the timer runs out. Time required, 4 hours. Time remaining, 0 hours 0 minutes and 4 seconds. Time remaining, 0 hours 0 minutes and 3 seconds. Time remaining, 0 hours 0 minutes and 2 seconds. Time remaining, 0 hours 0 minutes and 1 second. Alarm. You have completed the penalty quest. This was the moment he was teleported out of the desert into his hospital room. Seeing the same alert, he muttered, penalty quest, your rewards for completing the penalty quest have arrived. Would you like to accept? Accept refuse. With that, our 15-year-old protagonist fainted. He was later on found by a nurse that got him onto his bed, which caused some shock due to the sand that was found on the ground. Time skip. 1 week. A couple of nurses were commenting about young Izuku Midoriya health. He was seen doing his daily run. The next day the greenette started to do his exercises, and today was his 7th day of doing this exercise. First thing first, the blue box in front of his eyes were not an illusion. It was an actual messaging system from this system. Alarm. Complete, running 10 kilometers, 10 kilometers. You have completed your daily quest. You received the following rewards. Reward 1, status recovery. Reward 2, stat points +3. Reward 3, random box +1. Will you accept? Accept. Reject. Accept all. With that, a golden light encompassed the greenette and all of his fatigue has left. This was the second thing. The so-called system was similar to a quirk but with some kind of magic. He theorized that he could store the status recovery for the physical day. You have received the random box. This was an interesting development. After every daily he got a random box. Apparently, it can give him anything, but the probability is low for higher. Random box rarity scale junk, 90% E, 9% D, 9% C, 9% B, 009% A, 0009% S, 00009% S+, 00001% during the week. Izuku received 6 junk and 1 D-rank item, which was a sword that gave him a plus 10 in strength. The junk item today was a Miruko pen. A useful item if you think about it. He wouldn't need to spend 180 yen for a pen. Talking about strength, the new gamer discovered his status, where he could level up by some means and get a job. Status name, Izuku Midoriya. Job, none. Title, none. Level, 1 fatigue, 0 HP, 160 MP, 35 strength, 16 agility, 13 sense, 13 vitality, 13 intelligence, 13 remaining points. 3. He experimented with all of the abilities, but in general he thought he will need to maximize all stats so he can enter UA in less than 4 months' time. Strength is pretty straightforward, the one with the most visible improvement. At 10 points, he could hardly lift his bed up. But when he made it to 13 it was easier to pick it up with 2 hands. He also realized that strength is used in speed, how fast you can run. Agility is how flexible one can be. At 10 Izuku could feel more agile, but increasing allowed him to be a little faster moving in air but on ground too. This also helps with reflexes, as he had noted down. Sense is probably the second easiest to explain. It allows you to feel where someone or something is even if not visible. It enhanced Izuku's senses, such as smell, touch, hearing, taste, eyesight and sensing, as he discovered walking around. Some people naturally produce he guess, but it is still weak compared to the other senses. Vitality is there to improve your health by increasing your HP bar. The bigger the HP, the lower the chance for you not to die as fast as he could with a lower HP. He theorizes that with a bigger HP more damage he could take. Intelligence was the hardest for Izuku to see what it does. It increases MP, or also known as mana, but also the ability to multitask and think fast increases. Additionally, he could remember more, causing him to think that he is slowly gaining photographic memory. There was a lot of theorizing, but as he could analyze a quirk he did it on himself to see what he could improve on. He had 3 remaining points, so he gave 2 to sense and 1 to agility. Lower down he found that he has a couple of skills passive unknown, max, muscularity, LV, 1, active sprint, LV, 1, he had achieved muscularity and sprint during the penalty zones. He had no idea what the unknown does though, but its level is maxed out. Lastly, he found out that there are so-called dungeons. He received it by a random box reward from the penalty zone. Item, dungeon key. Item class, E-type, key. A key that allows you to create an instant dungeon. You may use this in the entrance to the station near Airjet's Hero Agency, so after being allowed to leave for a couple of hours for business by the hospital, he headed straight to the Airjet's Hero Agency so he could enter his first gate. First dungeon, first person Izuku. It was a week after I woke up from my coma. I became a little nervous, but due to the gamer's mind I calmed down a bit. I was one of the weakest in the world before my awakening. Other people would laugh at me if they heard what I am about to do. What would Katsumi think about me? Never mind her actually. I muttered slowly to himself. I was going to do it obviously, as I am standing just outside the station right now. I am comfortable in my ability to run, especially with my sprint skill. So if it becomes too dangerous, I will run away. I then plunged the key in mid-air, causing a small blue portal to appear. Walking through it, I received a notification. Alarm. You have entered the instant dungeon. I became confused. Are there different dungeons? Then I realized the exit just closed. No way, the entrance got closed. I saw a person near me, but he walked through it. Is this some other dimension? Breathing out slowly, I muttered, I need to get stronger, so I can show them a Deku like me can become the strongest. Alarm. You cannot leave the dungeon. Either kill the boss or use the return crystal. I can't leave before I kill the boss. Damn, then I heard a noise. Footsteps to be more precise. If it wasn't for the system, I would have definitely shat my pants. What I saw was 3 zombie-like creatures with weapons. Their speed wasn't impressive, so I rushed at one and punched it. I didn't expect that only the left arm of one was flown off. Expecting for the zombie to be in pain, I lowered my guard a little, but my body moved on its own again, but backward. Damn. I then looked at the name. It was orange and it read. Weaponized zombie. Some concentration went to the reading of the name, so I didn't have much time to sense the other two zombies. Cursing again, I jumped over them and kicked the floor whilst I was flying down to create a minor crater. I quickly took out my sword that I received from the random box. Item, Steel Blade. Item class, D-type, sword plus 10 attack. Smirking, I went again and this time cut one of the zombies in half. Thanking any deity above for the luck of the draw. You have defeated the weaponized zombie. You leveled up. Damn, 2 more to go. With that I dodged a slash from one of them and made a comeback slash through the middle. I hope I can get used to killing those monsters. Dodging a spear strike from the last one, I made a diagonal slash through the body of the zombie, killing it. You have defeated the weaponized zombie. X2. You leveled up. Wow, usually in games there are things to collect. I wondered, looking through the 3 dead zombies I found 3 broken weapons, 3 rotten flesh. Item, weaponized zombies flesh. Item class, none. Type, junk. A piece of flesh from a zombie. You can keep it in your inventory or sell it in the store. There is a store too. I mused to myself. Buy sell. Damn, what can I buy? Alarm. Your level is not enough to buy from the store. Looks like new players can't use this function. I sighed in disappointment. Would you like to sell? Item, weaponized zombies flesh. Sell. Cancel. Yes, when putting in the flesh I received 15 gold per flesh. 45 gold for the, leaving the broken weapons. I mused, this is an E rank dungeon. I wonder how much an A or an S rank junk item would sell for. The broken weapons of that quality gave me 0 gold, so that is why I left them. What do I do now? Taking in a deep breath, I could leave when I got a return crystal. Then I slapped myself, no, I need to get stronger. I don't know when I can get a key again. No bad thoughts, Izuku, you will not die from the boss. I thought at the end. Spotting at least 20 glowing red eyes from the zombies, I weakly smirked. Bring it on. With that call, the zombies began to come closer whilst some throwing daggers, spears at me. Due to me putting points. I already died before, by all might. Being attacked by the sludge villain was way scarier than you all. With that I began slashing, dodging, and killing the zombies. I won't die that easily. So you all shouldn't die too easily either, or I'll feel sorry. Fight fiercely, no hesitation, I thought to myself, continuing, as much as my body can endure. You leveled up. Suddenly I got cut over my left arm, hissing in pain I endured and killed the zombie that cut me. You leveled up. If I die, then what was the point of living? I will succeed to become the #1 hero. Fatigue, 34. You leveled up. Finishing taking care of those 20 zombies, I took a break to lower my fatigue. When it came down to 16, I walked further in and saw more weaponized zombies with a different kind of zombie mixed in. Archer zombies. Alarm. You have earned, title, Zombie Slayer. Your stats will increase by 20% when facing a dead opponent such as zombies. You also gain 40% more experience killing dead opponents. Status name, Izuku Midoriya. Job, none. Title, Zombie Slayer. Level, 5 Fatigue, 16 HP, 660 MP, 100 Strength, 21 Agility, 19 Sense, 20 Vitality, 18 Intelligence, 18 remaining points, 0, bring it on, I said with a more confident smile. Their names started to turn lighter orange then white. There were a couple of different zombies, however my level isn't rising. I realized that the colors indicate the level of difficulty. White ones mean they are weak. Orange means they are strong, should be slightly above my level. Red means they are stronger than my current self, I guessed. Since the zombies were orange at the beginning and now they are white, it means I have become quite a bit stronger. Level 15, but even with my current level, I am not sure if I can beat that guy down there, I muttered. Also I received a return crystal from a zombie drop. Item, return crystal. Item class. Type, Crystal A return crystal allows you to leave instant dungeons. If not used then it will be automatically deleted after finishing the dungeon. I can't stop here. Getting some motivation I started to walk down the stairs where I was hit with a burned flesh smell of some kind. Suddenly something came at me with ferocious speed. Fast, that's the only logical thought I had whilst blocking with my chipped sword. Coughing out a bit, I realized my sword is broken in two. I thought I leveled up quite a bit, but I was wrong. Whilst looking up, I saw the name with a color of dark orange. Undead Ruler, Rockgut the Ghoul. Thinking quickly as I don't want to be eaten by a ghoul, I jumped to the left thinking of a plan. The skin looks really tough, slashed and punches won't have much or any effect. It lunged at me, whilst still dodging I tried to see if my theory was correct with punches. I smirked when there was a tiny crack in the skin, meaning my theory was disproven. Yes, it worked but barely. I need to weaken this guy to defeat it. It came back with more speed and punched me again. I luckily blocked it, but I thought I might die if this continues. It took me an extra 2 minutes to actually get a hit in, but I wasn't doing too well on my part. My health was low and fatigue is getting higher. Fatigue, 47 HP, 850, 18601. Reason I added points to intelligence was due to one skill sprint. Skill, sprint, active, uses 50 MP to start, then uses 1 MP per minute it used. The total speed increases by 30%. Activating spring, I surprised the boss enough for me to stab the broken sword in the eye. Whilst it was thrashing, I went behind it and latched onto the neck. Using my strength I decided to crush its breathing option. I need to become stronger so I won't be seen as useless. More thrashing happened, but when the boss made me hit the wall, I nearly let the monster go. With a shout of "Die," the windpipe was crushed, causing it to die. In the hospital, no more Izuku POV. Izuku Midoriya still isn't back yet, a doctor asked. Yes, he went out in the morning, the receptionist nurse replied. Why isn't he returning even after sunset? Apparently he had business in town, but he's also recovered a lot and will be discharged soon. The nurse dutifully replied. Does he have some sort of regeneration quirk? We should stabilize him indoors. The doctor frowned at that. In our system, it says he is quirkless. But I guess from the near-death experience he could have unlocked one. I guess, I will call the association to check the quirk factor. The doctor replied, still frowning. With Izuku, third person, you leveled up. Breathing heavily, Izuku sat against the ghoul. I guess I got a bit stronger. I am beginning to feel like a hunter. Alarm. You have slain Undead Ruler, Rockgut the Ghoul. Oh, it dropped 2 items, the greenette mused to himself. Item, Rockgut BLD. Item class, a type, potion. Obtainable by defeating Rockgut. Unlikely drop rate. Drinking it will give you harder skin and pain nullification but will weaken your agility. Effect Rockgut Rock Skin, minus 10% physical damage taken. Effect Rockgut Pain Nullifier, minus 15% pain felt. Debuff Weaken Movement, minus 25 agility. Item, Rockgut Gauntlet. Item class, C-type, Gauntlet attack, plus 15 defense, plus 5% gauntlet that can cover your right hand. It is perfect for attack and defense. Grants contagious effect. Can be equipped, stored or sold. Effect Paralyze, attacked foes have a chance of having their limb unable to move. Effect Contagious, if gauntlets touch a bleeding area, the area of effect will cause the attacked spot to be contaminated. Causes 1% loss of their health per 1 second. The gauntlet sounds pretty cool, I wonder if I can get a dagger too. Izuku mused. Alert. The boss has been slain. The dungeon's interior will revert to normal. And I am back at the station, Izuku muttered. He realized that his clothes are cut, so he changed it with a cloak that he received from a zombie. But what caught him off was that there was no people around. Walking out of the station, someone asked Izuku, "Who are you?" A policeman with a cat's face asked who the greenette is. "How did you come out from there? Didn't you hear the broadcast?" The Midoriya's eyes widen in surprise. What happened? He didn't realize it yet, but Izuku didn't look like a 16-year-old scrawny kid but at least a 17-year-old with a good amount of muscle. It could mean that the person in front was just young looking for a hero or even a hero student. Huh, what are you saying now? The policeman realized I had a gauntlet in one hand. He asked, could you be a hero? Izuku wanted to say no, but when accidentally gave a nod, he pulled the gamer and said, this way, I will guide you, Sir Hero. Ah, okay, but internally the newest hunter freaked out thinking, don't I look, but when Izuku saw himself he nearly had his jaw dropped. I see, I could always look young for a hero. But what happened? The street was wrecked, cars thrown into building and a couple of heroes fighting the large villain. Due to Izuku's sense stat, he could feel that it was a C-rank villain with a gigantification quirk. The heroes were trying to do anything and everything but it wasn't working. The police were trying to get the civilians out of the area. However, the civilians complaining due to the length of the fight. There were multiple heroes, Backdraft, Kamui Woods, Death Arms and Airjet. They could have easily defeated the villain if Airjet lifted Kamui for him to use his chain move. Oh well, when he saw the villain about to smash Backdraft, so he got a broken pipe from the ground and pet his arm back. He threw it, it somehow hit the forehead of the villain causing it to go backwards and go unconscious. A small smirk appeared on his face thinking, I think I got a little stronger. You have defeated a villain with gigantification quirk. You leveled up. Sadly, Izuku didn't see one curious face of a new hero which was about to enter and help defeat the villain and one face that was angry, happy, curious, just a face only a mother could love. When the heroes and police asked who it was, the cat policeman wanted to point to the man he kind of dragged but he was gone. One hero, Kamui Woods, thought he must have been a high-ranking hero to do it. Honestly, Kamui could have gotten Airjet to pick him up but he couldn't ask easily, his pride maybe. Gang in a dungeon for the next week. Izuku continued to do his daily quests. He only had around 16 weeks until the UA entrance exam. Izuku grown to be 5 feet 10 inches and with a more muscular build but more orientated to a swimmer's build, concentrated on speed due to his points, especially in speed. After finishing his run he had a shower and was waiting to be discharged. During this time, he added the 3 extra points to strength. His stats looked like this. Strength, 48 agility, 36 sense, 35 vitality, 35 intelligence, 33. He realized that leveling up is more efficient compared to doing the daily quest, as just in 3 hours he gained 18 points per stat from the previous dungeon. Suddenly a nurse came and told him he is free to leave but was stopped by 2 men who rear apparently with the hero commission. Hello Izuku Midoriya, my name Ryota Yusuji and my partner is Kaisha Visor. Both of us are here to check your quirk factor. Ryota spoke up. Both men were shorter than Izuku and were wearing black suits. Nodding, Izuku was taken to a separate room with the 2 men. If you are wondering, yes, I do have a quirk but I am still working out the KNKS of it. Placing a quirk factor detector, Kaisha spoke up. I can sense it, my quirk allows me to have a minor insight of a quirk. But firstly put your hand on the crystal. When a number was there, Kaisha hummed. You do seem to have a powerful quirk factor, I presume you have awakened it during the sludge attack. Receiving a nod of understanding, I can sense an adaptation type mixed in with something else but I cannot tell you what it is as I don't know. Sighing inside the brain of one Izuku Midoriya, Ryota continued, we will place the name adapter but it will have an ability to expand when you find more uses. Izuku bowed, thank you both. Once again nodding, Izuku went home. Thank God, that they didn't figure it's an RPG quirk, but I still wonder where and how I got it. So far I would say I am at least a D rank level, hopefully I can get higher before UA. I need to become stronger to actually show my quirk. During the time he was exercising he also found a C rank dungeon key, which will be extremely useful. The downside was that he didn't know where to open it. Later that night after going home, he decided to go on a walk to pass the time. Izuku was in an area where limelight heroes don't patrol due to Izuku being in his thoughts. A group of 6 people approached Izuku to gang up on him. Suddenly the key activated on his own, sking all 7 people in. What? Don't tell me this is the area. Izuku asked himself, and who are you guys? Alert. You are in a dungeon, the leader coughed, trying to regain his posture. Hey kid, the hell are we? Rubbing the back of his head sheepishly, Izuku said, sorry, I guess my quirk activated on its own. Basically we are in a dungeon similar to video games. We have to defeat the boss to leave here. Another one asked, so we can use our quirks as we want, sounding pretty excited. Basically, we have to kill the monsters that appear. Though inside Izuku was worried, how the hell did this happen? When Izuku heard some fast-moving monsters, he yelled, guys, they are coming. When everyone was in position, they hear looking around, then Izuku yelled again, above us. The monsters were identified as lizard types. He read the name in the inside of his head, with them having a light orange color to the name. Four-eyed lizard punching one then another was a good idea as it was an instant kill. He looked back at the group of 6 and they were doing pretty good. Fireballs, a shield and swords cutting the lizards. Izuku killed a couple more and saw the notifications. You have defeated Four-eyed Lizard X5. You leveled up. After clearing that area, the group walked forward and saw a graveyard full of mutilated lizards. Gulping their fear they walked further. It is the boss room, get ready. Izuku stated. But they walked into a room filled with blue crystals. The 6 gang members were filled with excitement, but when they walked a bit forward, they met the boss. It was sleeping on the floor. It was a massive dinosaur-type lizard with 8 eyes and sharp teeth. They backed back a bit with Izuku staying in place. They all grinned. One of the men used his fireball quirk and blown the roof, separating them from Izuku so they could get the blue crystals. Izuku cursed in his mind, realizing that it would be better to defeat the boss now and deal with them later. He set to action. The name was dark orange and it said, 8-Eye T-Rex, let's do it. Izuku rushed forward using his gained speed from his strength. Sadly, punching it with his gauntlet wasn't easy. The skin was once again hard, similar to the ghoul he faced a week ago. My level is currently 20, a C-rank boss, is doable. This time using the skill sprint, the additional 30% surprised the T-Rex, causing Izuku to punch the back of its neck, causing the area to bleed. Effect Contagious has been activated. 8-Eye T-Rex HP will reduce 1% per second. Effect Paralysis has been cancelled. The enemy is resistant to paralysis. Damn, only contagious. With a weakened body, the T-Rex couldn't dodge the punch to the side of its head. It was smashed onto a wall, presumably having over 50% of its HP down. 8-Eye T-Rex is now using the skill, Survival of the Fittest. The enemy's statistics go up by +10 for the next minute. Damn bro, with that the T-Rex used its tail to smash Izuku to the other side of the room. My HP had fallen down by 320, I need to figure out how to increase my damage reduction. The next minute of Izuku's life was punishing. Apparently the T-Rex speed increased to over 50, luckily Sense saved him a bit most of the time. He just realized that he needs to increase his strength more. After the minute, Izuku made a small sigh of relief that was for nothing, as 8-Eye T-Rex is now using the skill, Call of the Alpha. The Alpha called the 4-Eye Lizards and the 6-Eye Lizards to help it defeat you. Once again cursing, he saw a lot of eyes glowing red. The T-Rex went back, probably to regain some of its strength, so it meant Izuku needed to defeat the white 4-Eye Lizards and the light orange 6-Eye Lizards. Using his gauntlet and natural punching power, he was killing them off. After another 5 minutes there were no more lizards. You have defeated 4-Eye Lizards X17. You have defeated 6-Eye Lizards X8. You leveled up, you leveled up, you leveled up, you leveled up. Okay, it is looking better. My stats increased by 4 and I have increased my HP by 480, even though it is still missing some. Status name, Izuku Midoriya. Job, none. Title, Zombie Slayer. Level, 24 fatigue, 58 HP, 1823,000 MP, 124 390 strength, 53 agility, 41 sense, 40 vitality, 40 intelligence, 38 remaining points, 0 damage reduction, 5%. Now where is the big lizard? Sensing it to the northeast of him, he used sprint, which got his mana down another 50 MP and continued with 1 MP per second. Surprising the T-Rex, he gave a punch to the side of it but was backhanded to the side. Faster, I need to be faster. Fatigue, 64 skill, sprint LV, 1, active, fatigue, 72. When the T-Rex was about to crush him, he remembered that he didn't use status recovery from the daily quest. Having a small smirk, he said, "Except," with that a golden light was upon him. Using this opportunity of distraction, he activated sprint again and punched with his back into it in the brain of the T-Rex. Doing it 4 more times with the effect of contagious, making the head of the T-Rex to explode. Sighing in relief, he checked what he got. You have defeated 8i T-Rex. You leveled up, you leveled up, you leveled up. You have found a dagger from the 8i T-Rex, a dagger. Finally, I really needed one. So he checked the stats on it. Item, T-Rex dagger. Item class, C-type, dagger attack, plus 20 made out of the 8i T-Rex tooth. Obtainable by defeating 8i T-Rex. Unlikely drop rate. The dagger grants attack and defense. Effect T-Rex defense, minus 25% damage reduced when blocking with the dagger. Twirling the dagger with his hand, he smirked. Then another sigh left his mouth. I seem to be sighing a lot lately, as it was true, as he has to deal with the other 6. Suddenly the wall exploded, with the mentioned people looking at him with shock, seeing him standing near the defeated boss. No more gang. Well, it seems the kid actually killed the monster. How sad. I wanted to kill the boss of the small group mentioned. One other smirked, boss man, at least we have this one. Izuku could feel some amounts of that was emanating from the group. Alarm. An emergency quest has been issued. There are entities nearby that intend to murder the player. Slay them and ensure your safety. If this quest is not completed, your heart will stop. Enemies required to be killed, 6 enemies killed, 0. What is this? The system suddenly. A frantic Izuku thought. He was broken out of his thoughts as the one with a fireball quirk used his quirk on him. Midoriya was sent flying backwards. When the others started to celebrate, Izuku realized something. In a whisper he said, "The system uses me, and I use the system." Then he started to laugh hysterically. The gang realized he wasn't dead but on edge, due to the crazy laughter that was heard. Izuku said from a whisper to a shout, "Why did I forget that? This place focuses on the survival of the fittest more than anywhere else. I need to be one on top." This scared some of the other members of the gang. My thinking was wrong until now. The many times I was beaten down, close to death in a lot of times. I mistook the dungeons as a safe place for me to get stronger. This world, it needs something more than All Might with his weakness. It needs to know true power, so this is the system. Kill if you don't want to be killed. Wouldn't it be awkward if I die? Izuku thought. His mentality changed a bit there. A new Izuku was beginning to be born. The guy with the fireball quirk off was freaking out. He was sure his aim wasn't off and he did put a lot of energy into it. You played around with a person's life, so are you ready to face the consequences? Izuku asked in a monotone voice. What is this BSTRD saying? One of the cockier ones asked. You are outnumbered, kid. The next thing the man knew, was Izuku was standing behind him with the sword slashing his neck. Of course, the other gang members went quiet, but soon they wanted revenge on the one who took the life of one of their own. What I mean is, you should be ready to become hunted. Enemies required to be killed, 5 enemies killed, 1. Then the gang all went to attack him with fireball. 1 sent his fireballs, another sent out knives. Other 2 went straight to attack him whilst the leader activated his quirk, shield, to protect himself and the 2 ranged attackers from the so-called hunter. I can't run away anymore. I am not a Deku. If only the strong will survive. Then flashbacks of his childhood and the discrimination he faced. Especially the image of his mother dying in his hands. He looked at them with his eyes glowing blue instead of his natural green and some of his hair having more black with only green tips. Shadows covered his face with an aura that made the enemies sweat a bit. Don't let your guard down, boys. Do you give him one more blow? The leader asked the fire quirk user. Whilst he threw it at Izuku, the gamer used sprint to dodge the attack, and the next thing the Gyu person knew was Izuku up in his face. Your quirk is annoying. Still with the blue eyes glowing, he used the newly acquired dagger and cut him into pieces. The leader had his eyes widen as Izuku just ignored his defense. Enemies required to be killed. For enemies killed, 2, that BSTRD, one of the heavy hitters yelled at Izuku, with the both of them rushed with a lot more but nothing Izuku couldn't handle. Izuku changed the dagger to his left hand and punched the one on the right with his gauntlet, and the left slashed from the right to the left of the torso. The one he slashed died quickly, but the one with the right was paralyzed with his skin starting to rot due to the effect, contagious. To stop the man's torment, Izuku slashed his head off. Enemies required to be killed, 2 enemies killed, for the knife-throwing quirk user was the next on Izuku's hit list. Dodging multiple projections with only receiving a minor slash on his right arm causing a minimum amount enemies required to be killed, 1 enemies killed, 5 alarm. New skill has been created. Skill, Advanced Dagger Arts LV, 1, passive. Due to the user preference to use daggers, you can use daggers more proficiently. When a dagger is used, the attacks gain 33% additional damage, 1 more, and a new skill. Izuku internally mused. In a flash, all my members, you BSTRD, you were hiding your skills. The final guy shouted. He wanted to say more but Izuku rushed at him with his gauntlet hand and smashed his head on the ground. I'm always leveling up ceaselessly. Izuku replied before ending the man's torment as he wanted to bribe Izuku with him, even try to threaten the team. My clothes became a mess again, the size isn't matching anymore, so I guess I'll need to but new clothes. Enemies required to be killed, 0 enemies killed, 6 quest reward, emergency quest, kill the enemies. Completion conditions have all been met. Will you receive the reward? Accept refuse, accept. Izuku mattered as he put some blue crystals which turned out to be mana crystals in his inventory. Before even looking at the rewards, he found something in the body of the fireball quirk user. A rune stone, interesting. Alarm. You have received rune, fireball type, rune. A skill can be obtained by breaking the rune. I will see if I can get more runes as they seem pretty useful. Now he was looking at the rewards. But this means I need to get my intelligence up more. You received 3 rewards. Reward 1, status recovery. Reward 2, experience points plus 10. Reward 3, skill. Will you accept your rewards? Accept refuse, accept. It seems that I am getting 3 skills today. Izuku laughed dryly. The status recovery made his cut healed up and got his fatigue back to the 10 experience points were split, 2 into strength, 2 into agility and the 6 into intelligence due to the skills that he will learn. Then came the 2 interesting skills. Firstly, the skill. Alert. New skill has been learnt. Skill, LV, 1, active. With the use of 40 MP you can intimidate an opponent using strong energy for 1 minute, which includes the stare of fear, reducing their stats by 50%. Several targets can be selected. Then he crushed the rune stone. Alert. New skill has been learnt. Skill, Fireball LV, 1, active. With the use of 50 MP you can use fireballs to attack. It can deal a maximum of 500 HP damage. Alert. Skills when leveled up can do multiple things. A. The MP cost will lower. B. The damage done will increase. C. A new part of the skill will be available. D. Increase in proficiency in a skill. When a skill is maxed there is a possibility for it to evolve. Be warned, not all skills can evolve. If there are 2 or more maxed similar skills they can join and evolve into a stronger skill. Oh, that is interesting. Now he was going to get some sleep as he needs it. Gate entrance. One man with a red bandana covering his eyes was looking how a young boy who was clearly in his thoughts was about to be ganged up. He was about to help but then a portal appeared. Once again, the man was about to jump in, but it closed up. It was only an hour later when he was curious, so he stayed there for another 10 minutes but nothing came out. So he deduced that he killed them, but he also smelled a lizard-type smell, so it made him more curious. However, he seemed to lose the boy, even though he was happy as one of his targets was a hero with a shield quirk. Nothing too powerful, but as his would be 12th target it would be something. A fake hero or a fake sidekick to be more precise. A couple of days later in Hero's agency an elderly man was wondering where his sidekick was. It was now 3 days of him not showing up to work, so it made him worried. He called the police and even went to his home, but he wasn't there. Damn, where could he be? A man in a samurai-type armor with a gray beard asked. This was the number 9 hero, the equipped hero, Yoroi Musha. Could it be the hero killer? Heaven's entrance. Izuku's POV. It was an additional 3 weeks when I have found something out. When I was eating my food, a notification popped out. Alarm. A harmful substance has been detected. Buff. Cure poison's effect is healing you, widening my eyes at the implementation of this fact. 3, 2, 1 Cure poison has been completed. The reward of my first E-rank gate. I think I accidentally overlooked it. I then remembered the Courage of the Weak rewards. Quest reward, secret quest, Courage of the Weak, Great Spellcaster Candiaru's Blessing. He has gifted a special spell to you. Candiaru's Blessing will ensure that you will always be strong and healthy during your lifetime. It's also thanks to this quest that I didn't have a permanent brain injury, thanks to All Might. Quest reward, temporary effect will to rehabilitate, any dismembered body parts are restored. Permanent effect longevity, all diseases, poisons and status effects are healed, and sleeping will explosively increase regeneration ability. If I'm immune to all poisons, that means I took out the class A potion. Item class, a type, potion obtainable by defeating Rock Gut. Unlikely drop rate. Drinking it will give you harder skin and pain nullification but will weaken your agility. Effect Rock Gut Rock Skin, minus 10% physical damage taken. Effect Rock Gut Pain Nullifier, minus 15% pain felt. Debuff Weakened Movement, minus 25 agility. If status effects are automatically healed, won't this item's debuff be removed as well? There is no reason to think. With that I drank the potion. A harmful substance has been detected in your body. 3, 2, 1 Cure poison has been completed. Item, Rock Gut BLD's effect Weakened Movement is fading, just as I thought. Name, Izuku Midoriya. Job, None. Title, Zombie Slayer. Level, 27 Fatigue, 0 HP, 3560 MP, 530 Strength, 78 Agility, 56 Sense, 53 Vitality, 53 Intelligence, 60 remaining points, 0 physical damage reduction, 10% plus 5%. Physical pain nullification, 15%. This caused me to smile, even though the reduction is 10% and 15%, it was still something of note. Eventually, I will get more armor allowing me to gain less damage. Additionally, something interesting too happened today. Whilst I was completing the daily quests, I accidentally did a push-up more, and I therefore decided to see how much it can rise. Complete, push-ups 200-100, complete, curl-ups 200-100, complete, sit-ups 200-100, complete, squats 200-100, complete, run 20-10 kilometers. I expected to get a better reward as this was a hidden quest and it didn't disappoint. Sadly, as this was a one-time thing, this is what I got. Rewards from a hidden quest. Reward 1, status recovery. Reward 2, stat points plus 3. Reward 3, blessed random box, select. Reward 3, cursed random box, select. Will you accept your rewards? Accept. Refuse. I added the 3 points already into my stats and left the status recovery. The blessed random box has something that I want, but the cursed random box has something I need. So I chose the blessed one, of course, one reason being that I am happy with the way things are going and, in all honesty, I don't know what I need at this moment in time. Blessed random box. The box will be chosen in 3, 2, 1. You received the key for the Heaven's Castle key item. Heaven's Castle key item class, S-type, key A key that allows you to enter dungeon. Heaven's Castle can be used in Endeavor's hero agency and trance. A couple of hours later it was the dead of night and I was outside the Endeavor's hero agency. I had my hood up and a face mask for me to be more anonymous, so no one can track me down. Walking up to the entrance I put the key in. However, there was one number 2 hero who was coming back from patrol that saw me enter. So I waved at him and jumped in, causing the gate to close, definitely pissing the big man off as I swore I heard flame burning or something. Jumping in, I only saw a corridor which I followed. It was appealing if I had to say anything about it, massive arches being placed every 20 meters or so with gold and white decorating them. Walking another 10 minutes, there was a staircase in the open air that led to a massive gate, but in front of the gate was a tall humanoid-looking figure. It had a massive pair of wings with a halo atop of his head. The face part of the body had a mask with a cross across it for the monster to breathe and see through apparently. The monster had a dark red name but also hold a weapon, which was a spear that gave off a powerful amount of energy, so I had to be careful of it. In all honesty, I didn't want to find out. Heaven's gatekeeper St. Peter, I will become much stronger, that is if I survived, but dying would be awkward and I wouldn't reach my goals. I can't lose here, it would be a pain getting myself to hell even though heaven is close. The best choice is to level as much as I can before UA, as I don't know how many opportunities one will have. I mused to myself whilst getting ready. St. Peter flew at me with tremendous speed which I dodged just in time. I tried to slash with my dagger which made a small cut on the calf. But the spear that was about to hit me, hit the ground instead, causing a massive crater which nearly made me hesitate to do more. Skill, Sprint LV1 has been activated with this moment. I tried to hit the gatekeeper once more but it was blocked by the spear. Deactivating the skill, I was thinking of a plan of action. Jumping back, I activated another more recent skill, dodging a spear move once more. Skill, Fireball LV1 has been activated. I made 3 large fireball above me and shot them at the enemy at St. Peter. I was trying to use this as a distraction but the enemy had different plans. Heaven's gatekeeper St. Peter is using skill Reflection. All mana attacks fired will be shot back with double the speed and power back to their original target's location. OHSHT, I yelled and activated the sprint skill again. I went to my inventory and got a mana potion as I only had 30 MP left. Mana potion item class, E-type, consumable, a potion that can restore mana. Restores 500 mana upon consumption. Mana 530. I don't want my stomach to be filled with potions, so bring it on. I activated another skill so I can use the opportunity of being able to defeat St. Peter. Skill, LV1 has been activated. The enemy's resistance was too high, the effect was cancelled. Cursing under my breath, I used my speed skill for 5 seconds, going around it trying to cut it with my dagger or even punch it with my gauntlet. Damn, I need to think of a way to defeat it. Suddenly, I was too late to dodge the downward swing of the spear. Unluckily for me, my left arm was cut off. I was glad I had some pain nullification as that SHT hurts. I tried to move but I couldn't as the swing also caused me to make a crater in the ground. I just realized that I could die. I started to grin for some reason. Fatigue, 72 HP, 890, 3560 MP, 435 530 HP, 850, 3560 HP, 810, 3560. As your health is below 30%, skill Perseverance will activate. Damage taken will be reduced by 50%. I remembered I still have the status effect but I can't waste it. So without moving I summoned 4 fireballs and shot 3 around and 1, dead center, so St. Peter will need to use his skill, giving me more time. MP, 35 530. Reward 1, status recovery accept. That was just in the nick of time as the St. Peter threw the spear straight at me where I was. Realizing I got my left arm back using sprint, I got behind him and threw my dagger at it. But St. Peter blocked it with his arm guards. I released the dagger from the mortal world into my system and got it to my own hands back again. This is a good matchup. Looking at my skills. But my attacks aren't having effect. Heaven's gatekeeper St. Peter is using the skill Baptism. When an enemy is hit by the skill, you will perish, but after death you will become an angel under God's rule. Not a bad way to die, but I ain't dying here. With pure luck and speed I have outrun the devastating attack and got into the guard of the saint. The system tells me the gap between my enemies and I, but I must overcome it. When inside the guard of the Guardian of Heaven, I slashed his chest, causing him to back up for a couple of steps. Then I realized something crucial. The saint is healing himself. Damn, I don't have any more status recovery. I must do something. I guess the system is making me stronger. With that I did. I rushed forward again and got the spear in my hand. The said opponent was surprised, which I took to my advantage. Stabbing him through the chest to where the heart should be sounded easy, but when against his armor I had to put everything in it so it could penetrate it. This and the activation of skill that actually caused the saint to stop allowed me to stab him through the head into the brain, killing it finally instead of the chest. You have slain Heaven's Gatekeeper Saint Peter. You leveled up, you leveled up, you leveled up, you leveled up. Thanks to you, I realized what my level is. I still need to get stronger. So if I open the gate now, I will die. But hear me, I will come back and defeat all of heaven if I have to. Item, Lance of Longinus. Item class, S-type, spear attack, plus 800 obtained by killing Saint Peter the Heaven's Gatekeeper. This spear was stabbed in the side of Jesus to ensure his death. It has extra attack power towards creatures of demons or fallen. Effect, an extra plus 200 attack when dealing with the enemies of God. Item, Saint Peter's Ring. Item class, a type, Ring. Intelligence plus 20, Vitality plus 20. Item, Heaven Gate Key. Item class, a type, Key. A key that can open the Heaven Gate's door. Obtained by killing the Gatekeeper. Sweet, plus 20 for both intelligence and vitality. I sure need it. Izuku chuckled. Everything after this point is Izuku's stats. I hope you enjoyed the chapter. Status name, Izuku Midoriya. Job, none. Title, Zombie Slayer. Level, 31 fatigue, 0 HP, 4360 MP, 670 strength, 82 agility, 60 sense, 57 vitality, 77 intelligence, 84 remaining points, 0 physical damage reduction, 10%, plus 5%. Physical pain nullification, 15% skills passive unknown, max, muscularity, LV, 1, advanced dagger arts, LV, 1, active sprint, LV, 1, LV, 1, fireball, LV, 1, armor rock gut gauntlet, C rank, right hand paralyze contagious St. Peter's Ring, A rank, left middle finger plus 20 and plus 20 vit weapon T-Rex dagger, C rank. Dagger plus 20 attack minus 25% damage reduced Lance of Longinus, S rank, spear plus 800 attack extra plus 200 against God's enemies. Job change with Miruko. The next 4 weeks was the same routine, exercise daily, try and level up my skills and study for UA. I had 2 D rank dungeons which leveled me up to level 36, and currently I am in a C rank gate. I think my luck is coming to me after the years of pain and misery with the mystery boxes. However, I have a feeling that this power is foreshadowing something. Although defeating skeleton warriors isn't as much fun as you would think, my title helps me have an easier time. Level 39 is what I am currently sitting at. With a spear move to one and a cut to another. Boom, level you level, ed up. I received a new notification following the leveling one. But before I go into that, I have gotten 2 more skills that I acquired recently. Skill, Vital Strike. LV, 1, active, dagger only skill. Uses 70 MP to deal critical damage as you attack your foe's vital area. The second one was the one I bought for 580,000 gold. A rune stone to be precise. I decided that sometimes I do need to be stealthy if I want to be a hero or to get a drop on a monster. Skill, Stealth. LV, 1, active, it requires 200 MP to activate and 10 MP per second to use it for a longer PRD of time. You become invisible to the naked eye with sound, smell, and presence erased. I actually gotten this skill so I could have a variety. It also did another purpose. I remembered the face of the shield man I killed. He was a sidekick to Yoroi Musha. Even though that man is old, I still respect him. With this in mind, I searched the web and done some snooping to find all of the mud behind the shield sidekick. Let me tell you, there was a lot. I was happy that I killed him. After getting acquainted with this skill, I had a maximum of 47 seconds to get in and out of the office. It was hard. I even had to drink 1 MP potion for 500 MP as I was low on it. At the end it was a success, with giving the file to the number 9 hero's desk. I remember seeing a rumor on the internet saying something of a man who could take and give quirks, which I found very interesting. It seems with the system I can have a similar ability, but with me I can get them through rune stones. Hopefully I can get a healing one so I can be an all-rounder. But that is the thought for the future, as now I have a different task in front of me. Also I have leveled up Advanced Dagger Art LV1 to LV2, with it gaining an extra 7% of additional damage, giving me 40% when using daggers. Additionally, my skill Sprint has 2 leveled up. Sadly, I have not received any skills for the spear that I am in possession of, as I did just get it and it is used as a tertiary weapon just after the gauntlet. Moving on to the message that I have received. The player has reached the required level. Wait. Required level. Like with the shop option to buy. The shop was open at level 25, it has a lot of sections as potions, weapons, armor, miscellaneous and rune stones. A job change quest has arrived. Will you accept the quest? Accept. Refuse job. None. I will do it after I finish this dungeon. With that I put the screen somewhere where it won't distract me and continued towards the boss room. I had to defeat a lot more enemies, as it seemed that they never finish, with me finally entering a massive room, the boss room I presumed. A skeleton figure was in the center with a light orange name. It only took me 2 minutes to defeat it, but after the job change I leveled up 2 levels, so I think that is a beneficial thing. Status name, Izuku Midoriya. Job, none. Title, Zombie Slayer. Level, 42 fatigue, 13 HP, 60 ADMP, 900 strength, 108 agility, 93 sense, 82 vitality, 108 intelligence, 108 remaining points, 0 physical damage reduction, 10% plus 5%. Physical pain nullification, 15% skills passive unknown, max, muscularity, LV, 1, advanced dagger arts, LV, 2, active sprint, LV, 2, LV, 1, fireball, LV, 1, vital strike, LV, 1, stealth, LV, 1, I was ready for it. I was also glad that I took my time not to rush things. So the next day I went out around 3 p.m, I had a feeling someone was following me, but there were no signs of. I kinda forgot to do the daily quest today, so I am hoping I can get this done quickly. Going to a park where not a lot of people attend, I said, accept job change quest, then a purple portal appeared and I jumped in. But before the portal closed, someone jumped in. I was flabbergasted at who it was. Miruko. Miruko. Sometime earlier, Miruko's POV, after the kid threw a pipe at the villain, my interest in him began. I started to patrol the area where he was, and this day, I finally found him. He seems to already sense someone following him. It could be me, but I think it was the blonde girl that had a look that I couldn't place following him too. So when I saw him go to a park and mutter some words, a purple portal shot open. He jumped in, so I too had to. I saw the blonde girl doing the same with her explosions, but it seemed that she didn't make it. The next thing I heard was a shout of my hero name by a surprised green-haired kid that was nearly a foot taller than me. End POV. Izuku looked down at Miruko. Miruko, what are you doing here? You interested me with the pipe you threw, and now you are jumping through a portal, so what gives? The rabbit woman berated Izuku. Even though she didn't add, also you smell actually nice compared to others. So basically you stalked me and jumped in a random portal that could go anywhere. Izuku asked in all seriousness, but he gave a deadpan expression. A small embarrassed blush appeared on her face, then Miruko's fist embedded in Izuku's shoulder. Shut up. After a couple of seconds, the gamer sighed, fine, before you ask. I can create portals where I go and improve my skills. Monsters appear and I need to kill them, and then the boss to get out of a dungeon. Her widened eyes and mouth turning into a devilish smile. Heck yeah, I can finally get loose. Oh, and what's your name? Now you ask. Geez, I'm Izuku Midoriya by the way, but just call me Izuku. He introduced himself with a mock bow. You have entered a dungeon. Before you ask any more questions, let me explain further. In dungeons anything can happen, different monsters, traps, and whatever. The monsters have to be killed and occasionally they drop loot like in a video game. And so, even before Rumi could react, Izuku summoned his spear and threw it through a knight. Keep your senses open, we need to kill them. You have slain a knight. Rumi came up to Izuku and poked the spear as it was summoned back to Izuku. What is this? Before Miruko asked any questions. Ah, this. This is the Lance of Longinus. I got it by defeating Saint Peter. It was a different dungeon I entered a while ago, Izuku said straight-faced. You defeated AF Angel. She said in disbelief. I did, he said with a sigh. Anyways, let's get this over and done with. Receiving a nod from the rabbit girl. It is a doll-type monster. It will be annoying if more of these guys show up in the future. Oh, and by the way, he turned to her, we can't exit until we clear this, as I don't have a hearthstone. Receiving a nod with a little hesitation, she was trying to understand the teen's quirk, but came up empty. Izuku received this message too. In this area, your potion and show ability is restricted. On level up, you do not receive status healing, SHT, Izuku muttered, obtaining a confused look. He answered the unasked question. I can't use any healing abilities of mine for some reason in this dungeon. So we can die here. Chuckling, we will not die here. I don't want to explain why the bunny hero is dead. Rumi tried to hit Izuku's head but missed. I am a rabbit, not a bunny, you idiot. As it seems to be fate, Izuku tackled the bunny away. There was a magician that shot a fireball at her. Oi bunny, get your head in the game. I know this is weird, but please look out. Rumi blushed slightly, as she was the one who people depended on and not being one to depend on someone. She didn't know this feeling, but she won't complain, as she liked the warmth. Then they both got up to start their fight. Punching and kicking, with an occasional spear swing, was all that was heard for the next 30 minutes. Rumi for her part was enjoying every minute of it. She usually had short and quick fights with an occasional she needs to ask Izuku to take her to other gates as she wants to feel the adrenaline pumping in her veins more often. Izuku realized that the soldiers were using his skills, from fireball to ones with spears, others were knights. Heck, some of them were assassins with the stealth part. The amount of times he saved the bunny from the assassins was not funny, as she couldn't smell or hear them. He also realized another fact: if he had dropped points from strength, he couldn't break the knight's armor, as a dagger was mostly useless with them. If his sense was low, then he wouldn't detect the assassins. Due to the still low mana, then using skills would be useless, as he couldn't replenish it to fight against the magicians. Then the spearman, who he thought was about agility so he could miss the spear moves and throws. You have slain a knight x16, you have slain a magician x3, you have slain an assassin x8, you have slain a spearman x5, you leveled up. He also received a couple of extra loot. He tried to give them to Rumi, but some didn't work with her. The armor, for example, was visible on her and it wasn't in her style, as apparently it would look ridiculous on her. Item: leather pouch type, container. A pouch to carry money. Item: high knight's chest plate. Item class, B type, armor plus 7% physical damage reduction, slows movement if your strength is below 80. Item: lukewarm water type, consumable 1L of water at room's temperature. Izuku shared the water with Miruko and both of them started to cool off. The bunny girl was glad to get a break out of the constant fighting and being saved by the admittedly handsome teen next to her from the assassins. Fatigue, 54 HP, 54 90 60 200 MP, 900 915. I can see the door to the boss room, Izuku stated, seeing the 5m tall gates. How are you doing? Smirking, she replied, tired, but this is fun. Nodding, if it will be too hard for you, let me handle it. What he got from her was a hesitant nod. She couldn't argue. From what he has shown so far, he is pretty strong with a lot of stamina to boot. Especially with the assassins, she promised herself to get stronger too. Those opponents were around B-rank villains, and even though she may be considered an S-rank hero, it was because of her leg power and her fighting style. After another 10 minutes with Izuku's fatigue going down to 33, but suddenly another assassin was about to sneak up onto the top 10 hero, which Izuku killed. Then he blocked an arrow with his dagger. F archers. Another 5 grueling minutes to be able to get in the door. You have slain an archer x7, you have slain a soldier x2, you leveled up, finally being able to open the door. Both could see it was an open room with a lot of space. There was one thing that made a shiver go down both of their backs. A dark red name for Izuku especially. BLD Red Commander Igris item, High Knight's Gauntlet item class, B-type, armor plus 5% physical damage reduction, slows movement if your strength is below 80, item, High Magician's Ring item class, B-type, ring increases mana regeneration by 10 mana per minute. He placed the other gauntlet on his left hand and the ring on his right middle finger. For some reason the rings and the gauntlet don't interfere with each other. He was ready to defeat the boss and get a job change. Izuku the Shadow Hero, Monarch BLD Red Commander Igris. Both hunters could hear themselves gulp. For Miruko her animal instincts were telling her to run, but for Izuku it was the memories of him nearly giving up on strong opponents. Bunny. I don't know if you can feel the aura but he is strong. Ignoring the nickname of his she whispered to him, I agree. A knight that protects the empty throne. Was what Izuku thought as the humans looked into the shining whites of the commander's face. The metal monstrosity slowly walked down the stairs, as both hero and teen prepared to fight it. Running towards the gamer, the knight used his sword to nearly decapitate Izuku and Miruko. The greenette took out his dagger and tried to stab him but to no avail, as its armor was better than the dagger's skills. The hero tried to use its distracted state, but the knight turned around and caught her by the leg and threw her to the wall, causing a massive indent in it. Miruko, the taller of the two, shouted. Chuckling slowly, she whispered just enough to make Izuku hear, this is nothing, I am feeling the touch of death. Touching her forehead, with a maniacal grin she said confidently, after we defeat this red guy, I am taking you out to dinner for the entertainment. This caused a small blush to appear on Izuku's face, then a couple of seconds of Igris looking at her with a semi-deadpan expression. Rumi realized what she said and blushed, denying it in her head. Using this opportunity, Izuku said whilst attacking and dodging the sword, sure, we will talk about this after this gate. There was a downward swing from Igris that Izuku barely blocked with his dagger and his gauntlet supporting him. Jumping back, Izuku and Miruko regrouped and both would try to attack him simultaneously. Some damage was obviously done but nothing too major. Izuku had a thought, I think we are using the same armor, so he has to have strength over 80 to be able to do that. I guess, it's with my fists and your legs, Miruko, or should I say Rumi. I preferred the bunny nickname but I don't mind if we are not on duty. Yes. But what surprised the both next was Igris stabbing his sword to the ground and releasing his cape with some of his extra daggers which were located on his back. Chivalry, not many actually have that, so I must say I respect you. But you are still not taking us seriously. Izuku said, though internally he was glad he wasn't taking them both seriously. With that the commander rushed at both of them with them both jumping out of the way of his trajectory. Miruko went to the back of him whilst Izuku the front of him, both tried using punches and kicks but nothing worked due to Igris dodging or blocking. Finally, he grabbed Izuku's leg and threw him onto the empty throne. Causing a of pain from Izuku to come out, Rumi was distracted for a split second, causing a similar fate to occur to her. Izuku caught her in a princess carry and whispered to her, I have a plan, you try and regain some energy. This was a moment where a notification came. Alarm. As your health has dropped below 30% skill, perseverance will be active. Damage taken will be reduced by 50%, my defense increased due to my passive skill, I still have a chance. Plopping the bunny girl on the throne, Izuku summoned his spear and without a moment of hesitation threw it. It missed the main body but not the left forearm, causing it to be ripped out of the body. This is where white liquid came out which seemed like dematerializing the spear. He summoned his dagger and using a newer skill. Igris tried getting his weapon by skill, Dominator's Touch, but was too late. Skill, Vital Strike LV, 1, active, dagger only skill. Uses 70 MP to deal critical damage as you attack your foe's vital area using the skill on Igris. He finally jumped onto Igris and stabbed under his helm. Then with a final punch, alarm. You have slain BLD Red Commander Igris. You leveled up walking up to Miruko first and both of them walking to the Igris fallen body. Did we win? Izuku asked in between his panting. I think the red guy underestimated us further, allowing you to surprise him with your spear. I guess I did. I guess my luck helped me here. If I made a mistake, I would have died. Oh shut it Izuku, you promised me dinner together so you can't die easily, but inside, this definitely was a high A rank that S ranks would have trouble in. All Might and Endeavor could do it but the later with some help. Ryukyu if she turned to her dragon mode but his sword would have decapitated something. I need to get stronger. Oh look it dropped a couple of items. Red Knight's Helmet Dominator's Touch X2 Leather Pouch Hearthstone X2 have been obtained, weight 2 Dominator's Touches, that is awesome. Izuku said in excitement. What are those 4 stones? Miruko asked in curiosity. Those 2 red stones are something called rune stones, you can learn new skills or some people may call them quirks. Those 2 have the same ability called Dominator's Touch. This allows us to learn a form of telekinesis. Wait us. Miruko was generally surprised. She expected him to keep them both for himself. Yeah, you helped me clear this dungeon. So there you are. He handed a rune stone to her and the return crystal. By the way, please don't tell anyone about the rune stones as the amount of greedy people would want those will be astronomical and use it during dire needs whilst patrolling. Izuku received an understanding nod from her. The other one can be only used in this dungeon to leave. Wait, why did they give it to us? Both of them realized one thing, it is not over yet. Seeing as they both have some time, Izuku checked the other 2 items. Item, Red Knight's Helmet Item Class, S-Type, Armor plus 15% Physical Damage Reduction plus 20 Strength, plus 20 Vitality Item. Leather pouch has been opened. You have received 1,500,000 gold. Total gold, 3,082,982 G. To think my gold doubled in an instant. Izuku thought, but furthermore an S-rank item. This is my second S-rank item. Putting it on, wow, these stats are on another level, it is incredible. Rune Stone, Dominator's Touch Type. Rune Stone A skill can be obtained by breaking the rune item. Hearthstone Type. Consumable A quest exclusive item. If you break the Hearthstone, you will instantly leave the dungeon. If the job quest ends, the dungeon is automatically destroyed. Cannot be stored. Name, Izuku Midoriya. Job, None. Title, Zombie Slayer. Level, 46 Fatigue, 72 HP, 1705 6960 MP, 780 960 Strength, 132 Agility, 97 Sense, 86 Vitality, 132 Intelligence, 112 Remaining Points, 0 Physical Damage Reduction, 11%, plus 32%. Physical Pain Nullification, 16%. Arise, get ready bunny, this dungeon isn't finished yet. Izuku warned her. Don't worry, I have got it. Also can you keep the rune stone with you until we get out the dungeon as I don't have any pockets? Rumi asked sheepishly. With a nod Izuku hid it in his inventory. There was a sound of shwsh that showed it was a greenish-red portal. Then more portals began to appear. The job change quest will begin, SHT, then this is my job change quest. Then he cursed himself as Rumi looked at him with her curious eyes. I will explain everything during our dinner. She blushed a little with the reminder but nodded. The longer you last, the more points you can collect that will place you into a higher tier job. Midnight points. The longer I last. Good luck. 1 second, 2 seconds. Then night started to pour out of the gates. Every second means more points. Izuku said then, so the chance of obtaining a hidden class goes up the longer the timer goes on. Befitting for a job change quest, Izuku muttered. 14 seconds, my remaining mana is Rumi, hold on to me. With that the two started to go invisible from Izuku's stealth skill. He then whispered to Rumi, we need to hide and make a plan, so I am using a skill of invisibility. With a nod they both got invisible. Izuku got Rumi on his back and carried her thighs, which to his opinion were really thick and squishy. I can do it for a couple of minutes. He couldn't see Miruko's dark red face, her thighs, and arms were around Izuku and was lucky that she was invisible. Magician is using skill, detection. A massive black eye appeared above the magicians. when it opened a purple iris looked straight at them, causing the confused soldiers to go up to them with their weapons. SHT, it detected us. Still having Rumi on his back, he summoned his spear and started to cut them down with an occasional punch. Skill was activated. The target stats will decrease by 50% for 1 minute. Miruko was just shocked. In all honesty, the repertoire of the young mans before her was impressive. Rumi, use your hearthstone. But before any of them could, both of their hearthstones were knocked out of their hands. SHT, then a beatdown was starting to happen with Izuku protecting Rumi with the best of his abilities. He did realize that those knights didn't give him any levels and were around C rank at best with an occasional B rank, but they were annoying in large amounts. HP, 980-6960. Rumi wasn't scared per se, but seeing how Izuku was taking the brunt of the assault protecting her, some memories were trying to come to the surface. 5 minutes and 9 seconds, SHT, with that he was punched in the side, causing the two living entities to slide backwards and started to be surrounded by knights. Izuku stood back up, but this time with Rumi behind him. I am sorry Rumi, but we need to try and defeat them together. We got it Izuku, it can't end like this. Rumi said with determination. Jumping up with his spear, I was at the bottom for so long, I longed for the highest place. I know the sadness of being weak more than anyone. Memories of children beating him up, parents giving him a pitying look. Izuku then remembered his mother, an overprotective mother sure, but she loved him the most. He was getting visions of his mother and father telling him to get some rest. Then something came out of the shadow. Why do you always moor away from the safe road and dance with death on every occasion? He knew this voice, it was him before being awakened. Isn't it a great fortune that a quirkless person like you was able to grow this much? Isn't it great Izuku Midoriya? Rumi for her part wasn't doing much better. Yes, she wasn't getting as much as Izuku but still tried helping. She too had some visions of people in her childhood ridiculing her for her quirk being a mutant type. When time passed on, she could see people calling her out for her figure or how she looks, ignoring how well she can do her work. A younger self came up to her, "Wow, I look appealing, don't I?" This caused her to stiffen and look back to see a young girl walking to her. You accidentally followed a young man who caught your interest into a death zone. He is still protecting you whilst you are still on your sorry butt. This wasn't happening, was it? That was all going in her mind. I can't believe that we're the same person. You are taller, gained a lot of muscle, and look sharper. You look quite strong as well. But the only thing that changed was your appearance. You're still a weakling. What is the difference between you and me? You got yourself in a situation where you're in front of death once more. The two voices said to their future selves. Izuku saw at the corner of his eye that Rumi was about to be killed. He moved. The movement was painful, but he was there and pushed Hiro away and blocked the incoming strike with his dagger. Until I am still alive, I will protect you Rumi, so do not give up. I bet you are hearing the voices too, so don't listen to them. You are a strong woman, mentally and physically, so let's show them who is boss. Rumi was knocked out of her funk when Izuku pushed her out of the way. After she heard what he spoken to her, it caused a soft small but true smile to appear on her face. I met him properly just today and he has done more than anyone in my life did. Thank you Izuku Midoriya. Izuku was having a hard time. The voice came around. Oh look, once again you don't know how to control yourself, your courage becomes recklessness. Hissing out, shut up. After another minute, Izuku and Rumi were standing back to back. Tired? Yeah, I am. You have a long way to go. From now on you have to kill more people, and sacrifice or leave behind a lot of people, including friends and family. You will be the one to bring about your own demise. The voice spoke once. Again. Both hero and hunter were tired, they barely could move. Quest directions: daily quest, getting ready to become powerful. Goal, incomplete. Push-ups 0-100, incomplete. Curl-ups 0-100, incomplete. Sit-ups 0-100, incomplete. Squats 0-100, incomplete. Run 0-10 kilometers. Warning. Failing to complete this daily quest will bring a punishment associated with this quest. Reading the message, he held his hand to get Rumi's hand in it. Blushing but also aware how close to death they were, so she didn't mind it. 5 seconds left, 4 seconds left, 3 seconds left, 2 seconds left. They say luck is also a skill. It looks like leaving you to die here is too much of a waste of it. Holding Miruko's hand tighter, the last thing the older Izuku thought was, see you. 1 second left, 0 seconds left. A slash came closer and closer from multiple sides. Then another notification came in. Alarm. You failed to complete the daily quest. You are being moved to the penalty zone. The axe that was about to come through the duo hit nothing but air, confusing the knights. 9 minutes and 39 seconds penalty zone. Both are seen on the floor panting. That was something, Rumi muttered, holding her thigh. Yeah, it was. It seems that we are in the penalty zone due to me forgetting to do my daily exercise. You have to do that. But I must say, good timing, otherwise we would be dead. No kidding. Fatigue, 92 HP, 84 69 60 MP, 230 960. Buying the best fatigue potions he could for 10,000 gold. He gave one to Miruko and one to himself. Drink this, it should help you. She drank it and all she could say was, damn, I could fight again. What did it do? It helps with your fatigue and also should slowly give your health back to its original point. Your fatigue is being restored. 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 I should properly heal my HP and MP by leveling up here. And I might die in one hit. Izuku also bought a medic first aid kit and started to bandage Rumi's thigh with some minor protest of her. It will be better, Bunny, but anyways we need to deal with the insects here. But internally, I have never felt better. I think I get what Rumi means, battle rush. Then the sand monsters came up, with Izuku killing them by jumping on them or slashing at them with his spear. Alarm. Penalty quest, survive goal, survive until the time runs out. Time required, 4 hours remaining time, 3 hours 58 minutes and 28 seconds, if the pain doesn't kill me, it will only make me stronger. Izuku thought, whilst Rumi looked at him with awe whilst she was still resting. With Katsumi, the 6 months changed Katsumi a lot. She knew that Izuku was in a coma for 6 months, but the doctors didn't call her mum after he woke up, only that he had been discharged. He wasn't in school and anyways school would be finished soon. The final exams were done before Izuku was in a coma, so he was lucky with that, although he would have to come back for the certificate, she mused. She saw him throw a pipe at a villain and was shocked with his appearance, like shouldn't the scrawny team be more scrawny after a coma? But no, Izuku was developing to be more of a Greek god, which she begrudgingly accepted when she saw him earlier today. He entered some kind gate and having Miruko, the rabbit hero, follow him too. She wanted to follow but was too slow. She discovered that the rumor of Izuku awakening a quirk was true. Of course they were not told the name, but on the school registry Izuku awakened a quirk when he woke up, and now she saw it in action. She didn't know how to feel with that. B said as he will go and try be a hero or not a stay-at-home husband, she doesn't know. After an hour of waiting, she went to see his apartment which he still lived in. She got the extra key out, that she took from her mother, and waited on the couch for a couple more hours. Then when it came 4, she then had a thought. Maybe he gotten a girlfriend. Yeah, he can't, he is mine. With that thought she went to sleep on the couch. Penalty zone sometime later. Penalty quest, survive goal, survive until the time runs out. Time required, 4 hours remaining time, 0 hours 8 minutes and 23 seconds. Vital strike skill leveled up from LV, 1 to LV, 2. You leveled up, you leveled up, you leveled up, you leveled up, you leveled up. You have reached level 50. You received a reward. Accept, reject, reward. Let accept it. Level 50 reward. Reward 1. Whenever you level up from level 50 and up you gain 100 more HP per level. Plus 200 HP per level. Reward 2. Whenever you level up from level 50 and up you gain 10 more MP per level. Plus 20 MP per level. Reward 3. You received an additional 5000 HP. Reward 4. You received an additional 500 MP. Well done. WN. I am trying to make his stats similar to Jinwoo but my own style, if you get me. Anyways, I always have a method of calculating HP and MP gain, so I am increasing the level up part. Name, Izuku Midoriya level, 51 fatigue, 0 HP, 12440 MP, 1555 penalty quest, survive goal, survive until the time runs out. Time required, 4 hours remaining time, 0 hours 3 minutes and 41 seconds, we have just over 3 minutes before we return. Izuku stated to Rumi. You need a stronger weapon. She gave a hesitant nod, with him deciding that explaining part of his quirk now was more beneficial. As I will explain my quirk later on, I will tell you part of it now. It is a gaming quirk, so to speak. Now I am using the gold I have collected from selling junk items or unneeded drops. Store. After a couple of seconds, he continued, what weapon do you want to use? This caused Rumi to think, a dagger would probably be my style. Smirking, I think I have the perfect one. Night Killer, 2,800,000 G, buy, found it. You have purchased Night Killer, this will help you especially with the knights here. It is called a Night Killer and is the best weapon I can get for you at this moment of time. He handed it to Miruko, who was shocked. Are you sure? With a light smile, he nodded, thank you. What Miruko done next caused them to lightly blush, a small but affectionate hug. Item, Night Killer. Item class, B-type, dagger plus 75 attack effect, Night Slayer. If used against an opponent with heavy armor, your attacks deal 25% additional damage. Izuku bought some more bandages. Let me wrap it around your hand so it won't drop like we did with our hearthstones. This caused them both to chuckle. You have purchased bandage. After Izuku helped Rumi bandage the dagger, he pulled out 2 rune stone. Let's break them, we may increase our chances. Wait, so you break them and you get the skill. With a nod he passed her one of them, and with that Izuku broke his. He used it to pull a leg of the massive insect towards him. Breaking her own stone, she felt some sort of new energy in her, causing her eyes to widen. She did the same as Izuku and got stars in her eyes. Once again she hugged Izuku, who was a little surprised and caused her to be span around whilst both of them were laughing. Skill, Dominator's Touch has been learned. Skill, Dominator's Touch LV, 1, active, no mana required. You can control objects without touching them. It is like a quirk, a skill that doesn't require me to use mana, so this is useful. Izuku stated whilst letting go of Rumi. This is the same thing as the Igris guy used. Penalty quest, survive goal, survive until the time runs out. Time required, 4 hours remaining time, 0 hours 0 minutes and 4 seconds remaining time, 0 hours 0 minutes and 3 seconds, hold my hand, we are going back. Our last chance, with Rumi holding his hand more naturally. Remaining time, 0 hours 0 minutes and 2 seconds remaining time, 0 hours 0 minutes and 1 second remaining time, 0 hours 0 minutes and 0 seconds. Penalty quest is concluding, so their numbers grew immensely within a few hours. Izuku asked jokingly, let's kick their metal, but Rumi continued. With Izuku using the spear and Rumi her dagger, it went so much easier. Being rested makes a large difference. Jumping on a soldier's head, Izuku shouted, we need to kill those mages, they are the ones who are controlling these puppets, they are using summoning magic. Sure Zuku. With a nearly fatal slash that could happen if Izuku didn't regain his composure. So this is how you want to play it, good bun bun. I will kick your butt when we get out of here. Sure, but after dinner please. With them both having game faces, they traveled towards the magicians, with Izuku and Rumi went opposite ways and slashed the magicians. You have slain a magician, good, 2 done, 4 more. Both saw that a chunk of the army was gone, turned into the armor. With that Izuku threw his spear at another one which hit its target. You have slain a magician. Alert. New skill has been created. Skill, Spear Throw, active, deal damage by throwing your spear. As the skill's level increases, damage and accuracy will increase. 70 mana. Alert. New skill has been created. Skill, Spear Mastery Art, passive, due to the user preference to use spears, you can use spears more proficiently. When a spear is used, the attacks gain 30% additional damage. New skills are always welcome, but finally some spear skills. Izuku mused to himself. Skill, Stealth LV1, active, 200 mana Magician is using skill, Detection Magician is using skill, Detection Magician is using skill, Detection, you can see the eye, kill them bun bun, with that Rumi killed another one with her Dominator's touch. 2 more left. He then shot a fireball towards a group of knights allowing her access to a magician. Rumi saw the strategy that Izuku will use, but when he jumped down from his hiding position with a spear in one hand and a dagger in his left. She now saw the muscles on Izuku, the way his muscles moved. Izuku was wearing a light gray shirt with a hood and black tracksuit bottoms, and she must add he made the perfect style in it. The muscles from tightening his grip were showing and it was so defined but not ugly as All Might or Endeavor style. Then she looked at his usually green eyes that are burning blue right now with some of his green colors tips were waving around, he looked majestic. Even her animal instinct told her to bet him but she knew that they were not in that stage of the relationship, yet. Yet again her brain betrays her. Izuku was using the Dominator touch to deal some damage to the knights whilst advancing towards the magicians. Suddenly, Miruko heard a cry of pain, Izuku was stabbed in his thigh just like her. How long are you going to hide behind your puppets? He killed the knight but suddenly the remaining 2 magicians started to chant and created a massive golem made of armor of the fallen knights exactly where Izuku was standing above. Izuku jumped down, and started to run trying to distract the golem, whilst Miruko will kill the 2 remaining magicians. Rumi had it easier as the number of soilders decreased for the destructiveness of the golem. With her using Dominator's touch on one and a Luna fall kick on another the golem fell. 4 hours 39 minutes and 42 seconds all the monsters in the room have been slain, the quest will end now. Damn, what a kick there bun bun. Izuku whistled in appreciation. Panting a bit, done. They walked to each other and fist bumped. Now what will be your job I wonder? Possibly an assassin or even a magician. Izuku wondered too. You will be able to choose a class based on the amount of points you have collected, apparently I can choose a job. Izuku said out loud. A job will be granted after the player's actions have been analyzed, oh granted. I thought I could choose. A shocked Izuku said. I did put a lot of stats in strength so a warrior. But also a lot in my vitality so possibly a tank. A magician due to my mana points. Either way I'll become strong. Wherever the player goes, the Reaper follows the player's path is littered with corpses, as the player possesses strength, he does not leave anything to his teammates and overcomes everything with his own strength. Izuku's eyes widened at that, didn't Rumi count too? Your longing for strength burns strong enough to call those who wander the valley of death, and the army of the dead who follows your commands shall create a path where your thread will be the law and you would never need another's help again, army of the dead. Izuku said out loud, I did prefer Rumi not being here for her safety, but she did help a lot though. Then a realization came to both, wait, this is my job. Your job is necromancer, a necromancer. Asked Rumi and she received a wide-eye nod from her partner. Magic subclass necromancer, a grim magician and the undead army that follows. I have never heard of someone who has a necromancer quirk, but usually they have a sentience quirk or a summon quirk for 1 or 2 warriors. Izuku said out loud. Why not choose it? It will be different from other heroes' quirks and it will be helpful for you, as I won't lie, even an S-rank hero like myself, this dungeon would be nigh impossible. If I didn't have you or at least another 4 S-class heroes then I would have died. So imagine having a lot of strong dead soldiers that can help you. With a small smile, I met you a couple of hours ago and you seem to already have a place in my heart, geez. Thank though I will choose this job then. Let's be a necromancer, I accept. It seems that this dungeon showed me a peek into the skill too. Izuku didn't see steam coming from Rumi's head at the casual remark on her. Your job has been chosen based on the amount of points you obtained. You will be given a chance to promote to a superior class. You have exceeded the expected play time. Points will be added. You did not use a Hearthstone. Points will be added. Shadows started to form around Izuku, causing Rumi to widen her eyes. Final health is above 75%. Points will be added. All enemies have been slain. Points will be added. Your accidental partner did not die. Points will be added. The total points have exceeded the limit. You will be promoted from Necromancer to Shadow Monarch. You have learned a job exclusive skill. You have obtained bonus stats. You have obtained the title The One Who Overcame Adversary. A title give to those who overcame adversary heroically. Your stats increase proportionally to your missing health. 1% stat increase every 1% HP missing. Wow, I have been promoted to a Shadow Monarch. Izuku said to the wide-eye Rumi, I can hear some sort of scream. Shadow extraction can be used on this target. Shadow extraction can be used on this target. Shadow extraction can be used on this target. So this is the necromancy ability. A necromancer is a commander type job. Please select your command phrase for shadow extraction. A command phrase arise. The last word sent shivers down the rabbit Harrow's back as she saw from the dead corpses shadows come out. Black shadows with a blue light coming from its eyes, with fog coming from them. Ha, this is pretty cool. Rumi still had her eyes widened. Skill, Shadow Extraction LV, 1 job specific skill No. Mana required. A shadow soldier is created from a body without life by taking out its mana. The chance of failure increases the higher the target stats are, and the more time passed since the target's death. Shadows able to be extracted, 50-50 skill, save Shadow LV, 1 job specific skill No mana required. You absorb created shadow soldiers and save them. Saved soldiers can be summoned and reabsorbed whenever and wherever the animator desires. Saved shadows, 040, does it mean, I can turn all the dead guys into summonable beings? Then Izuku looked at Igris. Shadow extraction can be used on this target, 44 infantry rank, normal, and 6 magicians rank, elite. I can only save 40 of you. Izuku said somberly. If you want to use shadow extraction again, you must send 1 or more shadow soldiers to the world of nothingness through extraction. Cancel. I am sorry, even though I have called upon you guys. Izuku gently punched with the side of his fist onto one of the infantry units' chest. Cancel extraction on 11 infantry units. You cannot recall shadow soldiers that have been sent to nothingness. With a sad face but determined one too, he walked up to Igris. BLD Red Commander Igris, if I have this guy as my soldier, arise. Some shadows started to leak out. A massive explosion of shadows happened, nearly knocking Izuku on his butt. You failed to extract the shadow. What? You still have 2 chances remaining. This guy has been dead for over 4 hours and even so has nearly killed me, so his skills are high enough. Taking a sigh and reaching his hand out, Igris, I know you can hear me. Stop protecting the seat of someone who has already left and try protecting me, who is in front of you. Arise. A shadow started to come out, with a hand coming out slowly which Izuku grabbed, pulling Igris out. BLD Red Igris, nope, that's too edgy. I will call you Igris. You have upgraded the shadow level will be 7 shadows higher than rank knight can be named. You are now named Igris, the shadow who is taller than Izuku, with blue shadows coming from his eyes and some red tint coming out of his flowing red hair. Igris LV, 7 rank, knight. Then the now named Igris bowed down with the rest of the infantry and the mages. Izuku and Rumi started to wonder what is going on. Izuku asked, can you speak, Igris? With a shake of his head, the Shadow Monarch understood. Hopefully when you will level up you can talk. Then Igris pointed to the throne. Blinking, Izuku asked, do you want me to go to the throne? With a nod, Izuku went to the throne and looking at Igris where he gave a nod, Izuku sat. The way Izuku sat screamed monarchy, the top of the top. Even Rumi was having a hard time of not bowing down. But the sight of Izuku sitting on the throne and his army of 40 was a sight to see, could make anyone bow down. Izuku then spoke, please take care of me. You have completed a secret quest, Throne of the Monarch. The seat of the previous MSTR of Igris was here. You are the commander of your forces and your forces are the ones protecting you. You have received quest rewards. Accept refuse. Accept, why not, he said whilst crossing one leg over the other and having a light smirk on his face. You have received the rewards for the secret quest. Reward 1, all of your current army leveled up by 1 level. Reward 2, you received 5 additional points. Reward 3, your MP increased by 100, wow, that is pretty good, collect all rewards. Izuku mused to himself. Standing up, he commanded all shadows to go into his shadow and walked up to Rumi. I think we did our job in this gate. Yeah, now you have your job. Using her pointer finger onto Izuku's chest, now how do get out of here, mister? Chuckling, we should exit in a couple of seconds, my lady. Now they both were laughing. As Izuku said, the gate disappeared a couple of seconds later. Anyways, here is my number. He wrote it down on a piece of paper, then handing it to her. Text me when our dinner will be and if you want to go to another gate. She checked her phone, her eyes widened. It is past 5 a.m. now. I have to patrol in 2 hours. I will text you though. Have fun patrolling. Rumi surprised herself and Izuku when she hugged him and then kicked off with her red face. Women are weird. Though he wondered where he could hear face slapping from. Status name, Izuku Midoriya. Job, Shadow Monarch. Title, Zombie Slayer, +1, level, 51 fatigue, 0 HP, 12440 MP, 1655 strength, 137 agility, 102 sense, 91 vitality, 137 intelligence, 117 remaining points, 15 physical damage reduction, 11%, plus 32%. Physical pain nullification, 16% skills passive unknown, max, muscularity, LV, 1, advanced dagger arts, LV, 2, advanced spear arts, LV, 1, active sprint, LV, 2, LV, 1, fireball, LV, 1, vital strike, LV, 2, stealth, LV, 1, dominator's touch, LV, 1, spear throw, LV, 1, job-specific shadow extraction, LV, 1, 40-50 save shadow, LV, 1, 40-40 shadow army 33 knights LV, 2, normal, 6 magicians LV, 2, elite, Igris LV, 8, knight.